How long does it take to process a temporary resident visa? The quick answer is 2 weeks if you are in the Philippines and if your case is simple. That includes the process or wait time for the biometrics until you reach the PPR request or the passport request. If you are up for this content, please click the subscribe button. The more important question to that is how to make your case a simple case so that your wait time will be shorter. I applied twice for Canada's temporary resident visa. I applied last 2019 before the pandemic, and the last one and the most current one is last September 2021 during the pandemic. To add details to that, I applied last July 31, 2019. I received my biometrics request after 5 days, that is August 5, 2019. And then after 15 days from July 31, I received my passport request. The more current one was last September 9, 2021, during the pandemic. After 20 days, I received my passport request. That is September 29, 2021. To know more about the processing time, you can actually check the website. Here is how to do it. What I'm going to share next is how to check the processing time at the Canada's website. So key in cic.gc.ca. Click English. When you are at this page, go to the right-hand portion where you see the most requested part. Click the Check Application Processing Times. And then you will be prompted at this page. Remember that this page is being updated weekly, so might as well check this weekly for updates, especially if you are in the process. Click here, Temporary Residence, since you are applying for a visitor visa or a temporary residence visa. Check here, Visitor Visa from outside Canada, if you are from outside Canada. Click here, Visitor Visa from inside if you are in Canada. So most likely, the case is that you are from outside Canada. Click the country where you're from. For example, you're from India. So click here, India, and then get processing time. So after a few seconds, you see here 274 days. So practically, that's the answer that you'll be having. It takes you 274 days to process your visitor visa. Remember that this was last updated last November 2021. So it's very recent. How about if you're from the Philippines? Just key in Philippines. There. Get processing time. There. You have 33 days, a little over a month. What if you are from United Arab Emirates? So get processing time. It would take you around a little over a month. So that's it. That is how you check the processing time at the Canada website. So how do you make the wait time shorter? Well, there are actually two things that you're supposed to do in the application for your temporary residence visa or visitor visa. The first one is to prove that your travel is valid, like you really have a valid reason to go to Canada. Prove them that you are an immediate family member through your birth certificate, through your passport, or prove them that you are an extended family member through IMM 006 form. Well, if your reason is for leisure, for shopping, or for tourism, well, that is not actually a valid reason to go to Canada, especially right now, during this time. We still have pandemic, so it wouldn't be logical to go to Canada just for that reason. Well, if you're doing business there, then that would be a very good reason. But you just have to prove it to them. Second thing that you're supposed to do is to convince the officer that you're returning back home. Meaning, you have to mention your home ties. You can do this by showing that you have relatives back home, that you have properties, you have actual properties back home, and you didn't sell them just because of this vacation, just because you wanted to go to Canada. You're not supposed to even mention that you sold a car, that you sold your condo just to afford the show money in going to Canada. That's really, really wrong. And the third one is that you can do this by mentioning your employment, that you actually have a job to return to. You can prove that by showing your ITR, income tax return. What else is your pay stubs? And the most convincing one are employment letters. Meaning your boss is actually allowing you to travel. That's the best, that's a top grade evidence that you actually have a home tie. This discussion leads to one question. How much should you show as a proof of financial support? Or in short, how much should your show money be? Should it be 3,000? Should it be 10,000 Canadian dollars? The quick answer is, it depends. It depends on where you're staying, who is paying you for your flight. It depends on where in Canada are you staying. Are you staying in Vancouver, in Toronto, or in Montreal, or in Manitoba? You can actually Google the cost of living for each provinces or for each city. So, for example, in Ontario, this is the cost of living. For example, in Vancouver, this is the cost of living. And then you can add your flight fare, and then you can add for your fare, so on and so forth. If you're going for this park, for this adventure, then you can peg in a price for that. You can actually peg a certain budget for your temporary stay in Canada. Say for 1 month, your budget is 7,000 Canadian dollars, which is quite reasonable. Your proof of financial support or your show money should not just show 7,000 Canadian dollars. It should be higher than your budget for your temporary stay. Because remember, you're still going back to your home country. You cannot zero in all of your liquid money, right? It wouldn't make sense. So if that is 7,000 Canadian dollars, I suggest you double that, and that would be your proof of financial support. That number should reflect in your bank account. So say 14,000 Canadian dollars should be in your bank account, aside from your assets, aside from your properties, aside from your stocks if you have. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.